This Week Tonight with co-host Jeff Hicks, the world's classiest bullshitter. And now, your host, the lady who wears the pants when she goes on rants, the trip with the wild hair flip, Jessie Milestone.
Whoa, it's me. What's up, everybody? It's This Week Tonight. We gotta dance now. We can't just let it go. This is the greatest song ever written, right? Who's ever heard?
Yeah, right is the wrong answer.
It's a song. Welcome to This Week Tonight. We are here. We're back. We're around.
Alive.
We're alive. We're present. I see we've still got Cavill for council going.
Yes,
people,
Henry Cavill for everything.
As you may or may not have learned by now, have realized by now, this is just a continuation of whatever has just happened in Jeff Land, but including me, because, you know, everything's better when it includes me.
Jeff Land is a great place to live. It doesn't close like Disneyland.
Not even for the coronavirus.
Jeff Land doesn't have to give you a refund. I'm here all the time.
True that. But yes, do what Obi-Wan is saying and press the like button. Guys, we're gonna have some fun guests on the stream, including Rosencrantz, the travel bunny. He's a good bunny. He's here to be, a comforting presence because we're all about comfort today. That's why I wore this robe, but it's too hot, so I'm taking the damn thing off. Would you be so kind as to grab me a bubble water, see what play?
I could just do this, and you could grab it.
Wow. This is my relationship. Can you please grab this thing for me? No, I'll get the thing so you can get it your damn self.
Always drink out of gallons.
I have a speck. Can I fix your speck?
I have ham. I have bacon.
Not speck. That would be delicious. Only be a speck.
I just make bacon after the stream.
Yeah, but speck.
I know. But we should just make bacon and one egg.
Or one egg.
And
we have one egg.
We have one egg left.
This is serious.
No, I'm not cosplaying as Andre the Giant. He's my father.
Yeah, it's true. I'm dating Andre the Giant's
child. Everybody want a peanut?
All right. Let's take everybody. Do we think that picture is actually what Armor God picture suit looks like?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say no. I'm not no. People like your shirt.
I honestly wore it because I figured it would get some audience engagement. Folks in the chat, tell me your favorite member of DX. Mine is Shawn Michaels. Maybe it's Triple A. Actually, it's Shawn Michaels. There
you go. That's how we practice equality. Jeff makes me do everything for myself and never does anything for me.
Yeah.
And in reparations for all that the thoroughway feminists have done, he makes me do everything for him. It's very egalitarian.
I like it.
Of course you do. The sideways this.
Let's go on camera. Look.
It looks retarded on camera.
That's why we're doing it. You know what else? Let's go on camera. Yeah. Oh
God.
God.
Isn't here yet.
6 feet is dead.
That's fine.
Ooh, go Big Boar. Go. He's a Shawn Michaels fan too. I met him once.
All right. So we are going to bring Hadass on at some point, and probably Kelly eventually. Kelly's practicing self-care right now, and she can tell us all about that when she comes on, or not. You guys will probably want to hear about it. But yeah, so the coronavirus is a thing. A lot of people are finding themselves in situations where they're stuck at home, sometimes in some cases alone, would rather have some sort of human contact. In some cases with people they can't stand to be around for that long of periods. I suppose the few lucky ones hate humans and are stuck alone, and it's just fine for them. And the few of us actually get to be stuck with people we really like and don't mind being smushed into a room with all day long.
I like how we pause for odd touching.
Right.
Like we don't ever just do it in the middle of a con.
No, it's like we have to actually stop and focus on the weird ways in which our bodies are connected. Mm-hmm. What would you estimate is the average distance between our bodies in this apartment?
Not whatever the distance between this futon to the bed is, or the bed to the bathroom. So the bed to the bathroom is obviously the longest, so that's 20 feet.
And then if you have to think about how often one of us is in the bathroom, one of us is in here, and think about how often one of us is here and one of us is here, versus how like the 100% of the rest of the time where we're just here. Like, not even like here though. We're like we all up on each other.
We shower together.
We do, actually.
Ooh, tomorrow night, tell them about the beard stream since it's your channel. You announced.
Right. Okay. So tomorrow night, it's very exciting. We definitely come back because after the High Council, Jeff is going to be getting rid of his magnificent Corona beard.
I'm just tired of it.
Say goodbye.
It like comes into my mouth as I'm eating, and it feels like I always have like a hair.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
This is the last day of Corona beard. So on the Mindless Entertainment High Council after show tomorrow, he's going to be taking requests for weird things to do with the beard during the shaving process. Obviously, we can't accommodate all of them because once stuff is gone, it is gone. But I'm thinking we're gonna pull in a bunch of requests first and sort of take them in the order of what we can do, so we can pare things down and do, a majority of things at once. That would be great.
But just for the record, for those watching tonight and tomorrow, I have to keep my sideburns. So
yes, the sideburns stay. It's about
usually, where my ear and nose, because your ear and nose are the same height.
Raging Rhino, thank you so much for the super chat. As always, you're very frequently the first super chatter, which we love. Evil goatee. That definitely has to happen at some point.
I think we should just go evil goatee. I could keep evil goatee for a while.
Do you want to keep evil goatee for a
little bit?
Yeah,
because it makes my lips look huge.
I don't mind.
You don't mind? You're like, I like you anyway. I should just shave off half of it and do the whole show with half a beard.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical. What if we did that? What if you arted your way down only just on one side and then just got rid of it completely and then just did the... Oh my God, that'd be so fun.
I will. I'll just do the left side of my face, but I'm keeping the sideburn. It'll be like perfectly done and ready.
That would be great.
Raging Rhino, that is the one mustache.
The one they were not doing.
I said it on my stream. I refuse.
So the is you wouldn't be able to do a real one because you don't have... Your hair doesn't really grow right here and you got a whitish, Cupid's
I am shaving on camera, Jeffrey Nelson. What's going to happen is she's going to send me a link. I'm going to broadcast from my phone, and you'll be able to watch and hear the zzz the entire time.
You might have to take your computer in there, though, because Streamers doesn't really work off the phone.
It'll have to because there's no space. We'll test.
We can figure it out. You might be able to set it up on the back of the toilet or something. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Macy Van Dusen says, hello, good night. Oh, hello and good night, Macy. I'm sorry that this is very late for you. I'm working on some other, when this is all over, I'm going to work on some other time slots that, better accommodate multiple iterations of my audience. Because right now I'm good for the East Coast, or the West Coast rather. I'm good for the late night crowd on the West Coast, East Coast, I can words. And then when it gets late enough, I'm good for the internationals. But thank you for the super chat as always. Thank you for being here. As Hadass would say, may the force be with you, because she's just like that.
I like wise guys. Don't do mutton chops. Do filet mignon or T-bone.
I like James Baker's.
But my name's Jeff, and that starts with a J as well. So just be. I love myself.
Love yourself. You should do a JJ. You should do a heart on each side and a J in the middle on each side. What?
No.
Why?
I just wanted to give you some road rash.
Your beard's too soft and well maintained. It didn't work. Oh, Jedi Bunny says, hail, Jesse and Jeff. Can't stay, but wanted to stop by and say hello. Hello, and hope you're doing well. Hail, chat. Everyone be sure to smash that like button, share, and subscribe to Mindless Entertainment. Thank you, Jedi Bunny. Also, you need to be on one of these streams one of these days. So hit me up. Let me know when I can bring you on because you are the best. So that's all. That's all. So before I reach out to the ladies, Jeff, have there been any things, is there anything about this quarantine period, this staying inside, that like weighs on you, that bothers you, that gets you down, or anything like that?
Okay, so I've always been just a singular guy. I have a ton of friends. I'm not an introvert. I like going out and meeting people, but all my favorite hobbies are just drawing, playing video games, shit like that. It's a one-person thing. Yes, gaming can be tons of people, but all my favorite games are single player. So no to that. The only thing I'm worried about or scared about is that we won't get back to normalcy. Like this will basically shit'll change and like people won't want to go out or we won't be able to do certain things like, oh, it's for safety. And I'm just like, that's the shit I'm dreading.
There'll always be a society, a germophobic society.
Well, people are assholes, so yeah, already. But I mean, like, we always talk about post 9/11 and pre 9/11, how the world was so different and much more optimistic pre 9/11.
That's true.
And we kind of had reached a really good place with people in general. Like shit was getting good. I'm not saying this is anything's concocted or anything like that. I just don't want people to be like pulling back from like being open with other people. Yes, the germaphobe thing, the constant worry, just that kind of stuff I think is going to hurt because like you can be on a bus next to a stranger and strike up a conversation. You shouldn't have to worry about your life. Like
everyone's freaking out if you cough now.
Yeah, like when I coughed at like the thing, like it's just cat hair in my throat. I haven't been sick. We've been in this apartment for months. Haven't shown a single symptom.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just have allergies. Go home says I'll play WWF No Mercy with you, Jeff.
Yes. Oh my God. We need to hang out.
Beth Diggu says, thank you for the super chat, Beth. Thank you for being here as always. Why does Hadass look a bit like a serial killer in the thumbnail? Her facial expression is a tad bit unsettling if you look at it too long.
Because she is one?
Yeah, that's probably, she just is one.
Do you know what WWF No Mercy is?
No.
It is a WWF game called No Mercy. And I would love to watch you. Ooh. We really need to focus on building the Twitch channel. I was doing some research when you were gone today.
Oh, really?
I want to introduce you to some really famous games that you've never played.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
Do you know where the Mad Libs went?
No.
I'm trying to find them because they're important.
I threw them away.
No, you did not.
You were
trying to get my butt.
Yeah, everyone was like, the time your butt's in frame, you're just,
Is this a you tissue or a me tissue?
That's a me tissue.
As I say, that's definitely not a me tissue because I blow mine on the ends.
I live on the fringe.
Oh, isn't it? You hate it so much when tissues get left out, don't you?
Just like yours?
I know. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Oh, I can't reach the trash can. Boom! I do need to find these Mad Libs, though. What would this stream be without the Schmad Libs?
A stream. Well, anyway, I'll keep talking while we're here. So Big Boar, Go Home has his own N64 No Mercy. I have the desire to get myself an HD modded N64 and then bring out all my games and play those because N64 was it wasn't my favorite system. And it's not now, but growing up as a kid, it was great because I had so many games for it. I had so many friends.
Smushed mods all over the floor.
Yes, wise guys to both. New stuff. Gonna re-release it. Gonna resend out stuff. Not done with comics, but one thing people will can attest to, even if you're just beginning YouTube, it is a time hole. It takes forever to build traction, and when you do, if you kind of let up, YouTube will shuck you to the side.
It's true.
So I have more ideas for artistic endeavors. Jesse knows.
Yeah.
I think the idea that the next one's going to be the trading cards, which we have an announcement to make on the High Council tomorrow. Tom of Midnight's Edge After Dark has showed me one of his sketches, which we turn into a card. But tons of artistic endeavors. I'd like to do what Ethan's doing. That would be my ideal career. Just do a couple books a year and do YouTube, and I'd be the happiest man alive.
So Beth thinks that Hadass looks like a serial killer here, and that is something very unsettling about her face, and I am inclined to agree because I look at her face a lot, and it's just always unsettling, but you get used to it eventually. And it's just like every time you finish an interaction with her, you're just thankful you're not dead. So that's pretty much it.
I'm sorry, they're talking about HD GoldenEye, and my heart jumped.
What do you think? Serial killer?
Definitely.
I think Callie looks very endearing. I
think she looks like she's in the middle of posing for a picture. Like this is like the face, like, oh, you're on a ride at Universal and they want your photo taken. She's like, here comes the camera, but she forgot it was like 10 seconds earlier, so she's like getting ready to, and then just like, and then for the next part of the ride, she's just smiling, looking great, and
this was the moment.
This is what they caught on camera.
I love it. Oh, it's brilliant.
I can't wait till we go to a place that does that, takes the picture on a ride, because we'll make I gotta show you the one I had to Jason send because I used to carry it in my wallet. It was so great. Mm-hmm. We were like, we have to look like we're dying, so we went like this. And they caught us like mid-scream, and it looks like our faces are melting. We were at Busch Gardens on the Loch Ness Monster Great Ride.
My two greatest ones ever. I was at Dorney Park on...
Where at?
Dorney Park.
Where's that?
It's in New Jersey.
Oh, I've never heard about it.
It's and there's a big steel coaster, and I can't remember what it's called, but...
It's called BSC, Big Steel Coaster.
And I was doing this face, and my hair was just whipped back completely, and it looked ridiculous.
Hold on, let's show the audience what it looked like.
You can,
right. So now you show your hands, and I'll whip your hair back.
And I looked insane and evil.
Anyway.
So that was pretty great. The other pretty great one was my friend and I just pretending to sleep on each other, and we looked so casual. It was great. It was like down the hill on a roller coaster, and we were just perfectly like. Totally conked out, and it was incredible.
That's like me watching Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes.
Have you ever gotten drunk on a Tuesday? Yes, Jonathan, I
Yes,
have.
Jonathan, many
Have you ever
times.
been drunk at church?
I used to be drunk every Tuesday for a while when I was religiously playing the Mindless Entertainment drinking game.
I always, even though it wouldn't work for the guys, I always wish the High Council had like a drunk stream like once a year. That'd be crazy because we've hung out with Ethan. He just falls asleep and we watch the Star Wars
that'd be
Holiday
really funny.
Special.
Yes, that would be terrible. That'd be a terrible High Council because it would be Jeremy being uncomfortable the whole time because people are drinking, you being drunk and hilarious, and Ethan being asleep. The worst High Council.
I'm glad I'm drunk and hilarious, not just drunk.
Yes.
This Saturday I'll be drunk and hilarious. You're gonna be here stuck with me.
I'm gonna take a nap.
That's okay. And then we'll get up and I'll drunk order us delicious healthy foods like salads and crepes. Oh my!
Be real, we're getting Chinese food.
We have to celebrate our anniversary of Chinese food.
We do.
Ooh, let's tell your audience because they'll appreciate this. My audience sometimes thinks the sappier stuff doesn't track.
About that first day.
Yeah.
How? So we all left to go to lunch and come back to the celebration. We didn't come back. We went to a bar and we got burgers and shit and booze, and more booze. And I bought a round of Kraken, and that kind of started it all off.
Bought a round of Irish whiskey at the other place.
And yeah,
appetizers.
So, oh my god, you want all those appetizers?
We ate them all.
We did. They were gone.
We were drunk as shit.
Those cheese curds were good. At least they were while I was drunk. So
the point of the story is, though, folks, over the weekend, it was the 1 year anniversary of the day we met.
Yes.
Hold on, I'll show the picture.
So not the day we got together, but the day that we met.
It's a quick turnaround, though, for us. I mean, we got together within we met in April. Within less than 4 months, we were dating.
Yep, accurate. So by the end of that night, we were holding hands on the way to Chinese food, and we got very, very drunk late night Chinese food. So to commemorate knowing each other for 1 whole year, we need to drunkenly get Chinese food. So we'll flip weekends since the weekend after celebration was Passover last year. But since this past weekend we celebrated Passover, next weekend we'll celebrate our 1 year with the thing.
And here it is. This is the bar. And here we were.
Oh, look at us being so cute. I got my arm already around him. I'm like, this is my man. I want him.
Look at Nick.
Is he just there?
Yeah. There's video of Anna and us all in it too.
So before we jump into more of this stream,
and there's the last one I'll show. The one that you like so much.
The Price is Right review. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, sup? So hope you enjoyed that documentary. Had a fun Passover and a great Easter. We had a really fun Passover, really great Easter as well.
We ate way too much food on Easter.
We ate so much food on Easter. Jeff made this whole Easter feast and it was delicious.
We had the leftovers for dinner and it was delicious.
And it was just delicious again.
Gravy.
It's a good cook right here.
Gravy was the theme of the night, and butter.
It's good themes. Very tasty foods were had. We haven't got a chance to watch that documentary. You looked it up though, right? It was the
I know one time.
the Exodus one.
Yes.
Yeah, we took a screenshot of it because we were going to watch it.
The thing was, Price is Right reviews. We had a really good Passover, as in like up till 5 a.m. Really good into Passover, like good Passover. We did it right. We did the full cups of wine. We did the song "One is Hashem" or Hashem.
One is Hashem. One is It was great.
We had a great time. Did it traditionally. Very drunk. Yeah. Then Jesse and I did drunk karaoke.
We did, which was literally just the two of us lying here singing to each
other.
Off
of YouTube. And then cute. I made Jesse rap a song.
Oh God, I tried.
Next time we should pick songs for each other that we don't know and see if we can throw each other off.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
That would be hilarious. Was there honey baked ham? What you want us to know?
I made a ham. It was not as good as honey baked ham because we didn't have the right glaze, but the quality of the meat was just as good. It
was very good. But yeah, we're definitely gonna watch that doc. We haven't done because I cooked Thursday and Friday, and then we Pesached on Saturday, and then we
Sunday had all the Easter food.
Recovered, and then Easter on Sunday, so we haven't been productive at all. So today we're finally being productive again, kind of. I got a lot of videos coming away. I got my new Lance, I believe, my new patron wanted Star Wars content, so I gotta hit him and reply to his message. But he wants some more Star Wars rants for Patreon. So if you do follow me on Patreon, or you can follow me on Subscribestar if you don't believe in the Patreon, you can get all of those rants. There'll be a bunch of Star Wars rants coming up this week. We got to talk about Ryan Johnson being a fucking tool as usual. About this Bob Iger stuff, perhaps. Got to talk about Daisy Ridley. There's a lot to talk about. So
Crazy Diddley,
and then an endless amount of rants to do on Rise of Skywalker as always. Because it still sucks, and it's got a bitch.
What has to happen for it not to suck?
to get burned up in not just fire but memory, to just be gone.
I will always be thankful that The Last Jedi brought us all together.
Jeffrey Turner, aka Magic
Getty?
Mega Jetty 1. Jeez, I can't read tonight. How are you, Jeffrey Turner? Hope you're doing well. $2 to the happy couple. May the Schwartz be with you. Thank you, Mega Jetty.
Princess Leia and Padme?
Yes.
It's a cool icon.
2 real princesses.
And I think that's him in the background.
I believe that's him in the background, too.
May the Schwartz be with you. Oh, what a world. What a world.
So we're going to get into a more serious topic of the night in a second. But I do want to read the Mad Libs from last Thursday because it was stellar, and Jeff missed it because he was chillaxing after his stream. Price Review says, awesome. Me as a Christian, I also enjoyed my own Passover at nice and celebrated Christ's resurrections. Was a double celebration for me, at least. That's awesome.
Same here.
We celebrated because that
was a twofer.
It was Passover for me, and then it was Easter for him, so we got to share.
It was a good time had
We share everything, like our meals, our bed, our shower, and our holidays.
When can
Not
we
our
share
pants.
Kwanzaa?
Whenever you want.
I've never celebrated it. You want
do
to
it.
learn about Kwanzaa this year?
Let's do it.
I told you about the time I used to have to go to the doctor and they had like a thing about cultural differences, and every time I pressed the Kwanzaa one, because I would quote it to my mom, like, Kwanzaa is a time for African Americans to celebrate. And she'd be like, Jesus, can you stop pressing it? I'm like, no, Mom.
No, well,
Kwanzaa
I can't. Bruce Lombardo, thank you for the super chat. Jesse and Jeff, good to see you two together. It's good to see us together too. We're
I concur.
almost always together. Now I just whatchamacallit. Yeah.
Taught lessons today.
I did too. We were briefly not together. I did teach my lesson.
I recorded Patreon stuff.
But yes, and we're almost always together on my streams as well, except for the nights when Jeff is tired because he's allowed to be. I don't blame either. I get tired from streaming. Jeff streams most nights, his whole stream, and then my whole stream. So he's a trooper. He shows up for me because he cares.
Because one is Hashem.
One is Hashem. Ha! Yeah. Jeffrey Turner, aka Mega Jetty 1, says, actually, I got a princess and queen on my lap. Nice. Well done, bro. Well done. Good for you. Any chance that the what? Okay. So I do want to read this Mad Lib.
Hi, Paul.
From
Paul's a big fan.
Oh, cool. The Mad Lib we did on Thursday just gets your, wet your whistles for this week. It was how to become a Jedi Knight.
And friend of Captain Solo.
There you go. Want to be a Jedi Mask? Follow these astounding steps. 1. Find a Jedi Master. In order to become a tenacious Jedi, a young Padawan or Jedi apprentice needs to learn from someone who has stupidly mastered his or her training. Perhaps Master Jeff is available.
I am not.
2. Study the ways of the Force. It takes a lot of impetuous patience and belief in the woozles around you.
The what?
The woozles.
Woozles?
Yeah, like Heffalumps and woozles from Winnie the Pooh. The woozles around you, but a Padawan must understand the Force before he or she can really practice the ways of a Jedi Batarang.
Yeah, I like that one.
Make your own light penis. Find special Heffalumps to place in your lightsaber's tentacle. Then commune with the Force to make it castrate.
Like
Listen,
Luke Skywalker?
Like Luke Skywalker. Listen proudly. Finally, and most flamboyantly, do as the older and wiser Jedi flames tell you, even if they want you to pray sexually.
Oh, I know.
So a fun one.
Now PRY.
Oh,
That's
no,
wrong to pray sexually.
Oh, it's praying sexually, like wearing very little clothes while saying prayers.
Wait, that's your definition of sexually? What if I want to be covered up to here, but just thrust the air?
So tonight we're going to be figuring out the weapons of the Empire by Emperor Palpatine. But before that, it's time to bring on the ladies. Hello, lady. You know what that's from, right?
Benny and the Jets. Princess Bride.
Yeehaw.
I mean, I'm only the son of Andre the Giant. I know my father's films, all one of them. I like how you let him know what the link is to.
It's showing up the wrong way.
No, it would have been here to.
What?
This is the same one.
I know, but it says Monday, and so they're going to be confused when there's nothing. My friends are not that smart. Okay, it's not true. They're very smart. But that's not true. I'm very smart. It's totally retarded.
I know. Can
Um.
we talk about your shirt for a moment?
Yeah. It's my favorite shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts.
How to punch a bear. Warning, dangerous. 1, find a bear. 2, make a fist. 3, die.
I love this shit.
Another shirt was brought to you by Arcadia National Park.
Arcadia National Park.
Arcadia National Park.
Arcadia is just like out near Pasadena yonder.
The National Park.
I love this shirt so much. So yeah, what we do want to talk about tonight when we get Hadassah on board, et cetera, is just like a lot of people are going through different stresses. People who endure regular levels of stress have those stresses heightened right now because of the coronavirus and we're all dead. And then people who are like even some regular people have extra stress. I have a friend who's never had a panic attack before who just had a panic attack. So shit happens. Anyway, speaking
Party naked.
yeah.
Hello.
Speaking of panic, guys, Hadass, everybody. Hadass. Beth Digger sent us a super chat earlier that said that you're in the thumbnail. You look like a serial killer.
Good. Can I get? I feel like I deserve some of that money, because, yeah,
It's $1 you'll get after YouTube. YouTube.
that's fine. Jesse can give me 99 cents because I never pay in full.
That's fair. Yeah. So how are you doing tonight, Hadass the Horrible?
Oh, bless. I'm good. Can't complain. I mean, going day by day. Hello, everyone. So many lovely hellos.
Oh, go big boy, go home. Hadass the serial killer.
Day by day.
Oh, I love
Everyone's saying hi. Amanda Merck wants to know how your satyrs were.
that. The one with my parents were lovely. The one with Jesse and friends was an experience. I'm emotionally bruised.
But you know what? Bruises heal.
They do. No, it was a wonderful Seder. I had a lot of fun. I didn't expect a Zoom Seder to be this fun.
It was. It was actually for a virtual Seder. It was delightful.
Mm-hmm. Did you read my text about the potatoes Kelly brought me? How I'm just eating them with matzah like a crazy person?
Yes. It sounds like weirdly good, but also
It is. It's just delightful. It's just carby. Like, carbs are good. Quote me on that, everyone.
carbs are good. Can I add multiple things to this?
You
Just
can-
one at a time?
Yeah, but you can also just copy and have multiple go across. You have you got a lot more characters on this. You have 200
Okay.
characters. So I mean,
So,
Oh, wow. How are you doing that? It's like a news thing.
yes.
So self-care and taking care of
Hold
No? Okay.
Hold on.
It's fine.
This is more important than self-care. You'll understand in a minute.
wait, you messed up.
What?
You have to retype it now and hit the checkbox.
Oh, non-domer. Yeah, no, matzah's so good. I feel like I think because I grew up with it, I love it so much.
Yeah, I don't know if I love it so much, but
I'm sad that our matzo ball soup went bad.
I know I'm so sad about that. My matzo ball soup, it appears the broth went sour, and I'm really
The
depressed.
milk's gone bad, Charlie Murphy.
Well, you know, it's crazy because growing up, my parents would always put margarine on matzah. Now I can eat it plain and I'll taste margarine.
That's nice.
That's delightful.
I do like just putting butter on matzah. I do enjoy that. It makes it suck less. It has a nostalgic quality. Ooh, or we should get chocolate frosting when we're at the store next time and just put
Really,
it on.
Jesse? How do you kill a soul?
You have figured it out. I don't know. This is your game, not mine. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, please press the like button. Make sure that Hadassah has your support in her murder spree. Otherwise, she might kill you next. We got 60 watching, 45 impressions. I believe we can have more and more and more.
You're next.
You're pointing at the person who's next.
Yeah, it could be you.
Wise Guys all soup can go bad. I don't know what happened. Maybe it just stayed out. We put it away on Saturday night, though.
You know what can happen?
Saturday night, we ate it.
Jesse, did you reheat it multiple times?
No.
Probably.
No,
That-
you made the stock the first night.
Yeah.
And it sat out.
Sat out the first night.
Then after we made the matzo ball soup Saturday, you just covered it and left it out.
It stayed out all Saturday. That's probably what
Oh,
happened.
okay, 'cause I was taught that if you keep reheating chicken soup after a while, it'll just get sour.
Yeah, I think that's must have been what happened. I'm very sad. So I'm heavily dejected. So self-care. Don't let your matzo ball soup go bad and you won't be depressed. Jeez.
I feel like you did this to yourself, though.
I feel like you did this to me.
I could have.
I believe in you.
I'm not denying it.
That's fair.
love
What have I started? You've started a beautiful banner. A beautiful, beautiful banner of truth.
You just said beautiful.
A beautiful banner of
Beautiful.
beautiful. It's got a full booty. All right. So yeah, so we were talking about how like this can be really tough on people. For people who are getting anxious or getting stressed. Some are just finding it hard to be motivated to do anything at all, especially if they're out of work right now, etc. Also, apparently, like you just can't get a hold of unemployment centers. Most states,
Oh, yeah, it keeps crashing.
yeah, most states, even if you call, you just get put on indefinite hold, or they tell you that nobody's available to take your call, or all this shit. But
Yeah.
So it's a stressful time to be alive. It's a very uncertain time to be alive. The news keeps changing. The mark keeps moving. They talked about this weekend being the peak in deaths, but before that even happened, Los Angeles's lockdown was extended through the middle of May. So states are talking about, steps to reopen the economy, how to actually do that. So it's a very uncertain time, and it can lead to depression. It can lead to restlessness. It can lead to anxiety. It can lead to a lot of things.
One thing I definitely noticed a lot on Twitter is, as someone who has chronic migraine, a lot of people are like, I think I'm having my first migraine. I don't understand why. Stress can induce migraines. So that and depression and anxiety can induce them as well. So it's definitely great to like talk about this and create a narrative, because I feel like a lot of people sweep that kind of stuff under the rug, but no one really acknowledges like, okay, how do we take care of ourselves in our mental well-being and all that?
Yeah. And now is a better time than ever, because a lot of people get used to their daily routines and without even realizing it. Some people have self-care built into their daily routines. This is a comfort of what they do. Things like go to work, I come back, I have my specific unwinding ritual when I get home from work to help de-stress and decompress, but now if that work ritual, that daily, part of your schedule's taken away, those decompressions we work into the day. Okay, halfway through my work day, like halfway through my afternoon, my work day, maybe I stop and get a cup of tea. I go out for a coffee, on the way home, on the way to, whatever it is, these little things that build a sense of normalcy into our lives, maybe going away. For some people who are severely coffee addicted, caffeine addicted, they may be drinking more or less caffeine than usual, depending on what their routine is like. Maybe they don't like making coffee at home, but now they can't go out and get it as often, or vice versa. Now that they're stuck at home, they're just drinking more and more. And overindulgence of caffeine, underindulgence of caffeine can lead to things like greater stress, greater anxiety, more migraines.
And I've noticed with a lot of people, they're ingesting a lot more alcohol, and if you're not careful, that can fuck with the chemical imbalance in your head and cause more depression and anxiety and stress. So it's definitely like trying to find a balance while adjusting to this new way of life, because it's not going to be normal for a very long time.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we were discussing is like what happens, even when we do. I mean, that's what you're seeing right now with these. There's like this spark of optimism when you're like, oh, states are discussing how to reopen, but then you go back and look at it, like, we don't have a timeline for this. We're just, when we get there, how to do it. So you realize that even when we get to the point where this big lockdown order is lifted, it's not just going to be like a curtain that comes up and we're all back to normal. It's going to be little steps of re-entering society.
That's what I'm worried about, because we might not take steps to get back to where we were.
That even when everything's logistically back to normal, that we're still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me a question.
I was gonna say, what would be your worst? What for you would be like the worst side effect in a situation where that happened? We never regained full normalcy. What for you would be like the absolute worst?
Plane stuff right now, off the top of my head. Travel already sucks. Like sitting squeezing into these tiny seats, but like if you have to wear masks on a plane, or if you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we can't serve drinks anymore because all this shit that might go away.
Or if like you get, well, just think about things that may not be complimentary anymore. You know, we finally got to a place that was a big thing. Airlines took a hit after 9/11, which is one of the reasons why airlines stopped offering meals on their, on their domestic services and free snacks. Though most of them brought some free snacks back and stuff like that. So what's gonna
no more peanuts?
No more peanuts.
Don't even say such things, Jeff.
Maybe no more free sodas. Maybe a little cutting the costs and little things like that.
I don't even mean that. I just mean like people will be afraid. Like the companies won't do it to cut costs. They'll try to act like it's for your safety. So like, oh, you can't bring food on a plane anymore. Like if you buy a food in the airport, you're allowed to bring it on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry, for safety reasons, you can't bring this on the plane. I feel like there's gonna be tons of restrictions, and it's gonna fucking suck. The sad part is that we'll eventually just get used to it, and we'll just be living with more restrictions in our lives, and everyone will just be okay with it for some reason because they think it's required for.
What about health screenings, especially on say like international travel? What if countries start requiring like, quarantine periods when you enter certain?
They probably will.
Right, which is going to really fuck up a lot of kinds of travel.
I won't go.
Business travel, you couldn't travel for. What if it's like if you're going to, after the first X number of days you're in the country, you have to wear a mask, stuff like that. It's going to really.
I have a feeling masks aren't going anywhere. I think they're just going to be part of it. Like it'll be like wearing a shirt after a while. It's
where just every time you go outside you wear a mask.
I mean, for a while it's going to be mandatory.
I think so too.
I think it's just gonna be the thing right now until the curve flattens, but yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna cause people to be what is it? Is hoarding culture a thing? Like I don't know how to word it, but it's like hoarding is like part of, I guess, how people are behaving.
Yeah.
So that and I can see people being very germophobic after this because we have to like sanitize everything and
yeah, which is gonna suck for people who are already that way or already. That's one of the things you think like, oh well, if we're in a situation where
thank you, Paul.
If we're in a situation where words why can't I English words is
because I'm having the same issue. We've gone to plaid.
Can't sentence properly.
We haven't eaten enough sugar today.
We could probably not.
Sugar.
Yeah. Obi-Wan says hoarding is already dying out. That's not necessarily true of toilet paper. Our freaking supermarket still never has toilet paper when we go in it.
You ever notice we've slowed down our usage of it too?
Sorry, Big Boar go home. He just said that hoarding culture is called doomsday prepping in some circles.
Doomsday prepping, someone else is stockpiling.
I didn't know how else to say it.
I was just I would think that like doomsday prepper culture, I think is probably going to be on the rise because it's going to be less. It's for a long time people who are always like having week stock of this, an emergency that. People sort of wrote them off as being ridiculous. But now I think those kinds of people are going to be less. Now that's an interesting additional byproduct you got to think about, right? You're talking about a group of people who have been considered a fringe group in society, right? Preppers, extreme preppers. And that behavior is now going to be looked at as less ridiculous and less easy to dismiss. So how does that entering a more mainstream consciousness affect the overall tenor of our culture, the overall zeitgeist? So I think that's
yeah.
We should look into old school Jeremy just says buy stock in Procter & Gamble. I used to live in Cincinnati, so that's where Procter & Gamble's based.
There you go.
I do need to look into stocks too.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, the stock market is so scary, right? I would not.
Oh, I would still buy it right now. I would say I would look at airline stock, right? Because they're in a total rut now and they're gonna surge. They're getting bailed out. They have to get bailed out.
I'm looking at airline prices right now.
And they're gonna surge when this is over. So it'll be interesting to see because one of the things is like there's normal, but then there's normal, and the reality is that a global crisis like this shifts the culture in sometimes bigger ways that are easy to see and sometimes more subtle ways that you don't realize until you reflect on it years and years later. I mean, there's a lot of things we've just accepted as the norm with airport screaming, the three of us being born, pre 9/11, enough to remember, even if we didn't fly much ourselves, airline travel before 9/11.
Actually, when I was really young, I did. I remember it was so different.
Yeah, and that's changed so much. We've kind of all just accepted that as the new normal.
Yeah.
That's why we always talk about the Patriot Act being the most damaging thing in our lifetimes, because it's just like we gave up everything and they just renewed it.
Yeah.
I mean, before all this coronavirus stuff happened. So it's like, do you remember back in the day when everyone said, all the conspiracy people are like, oh, they're going to chip you and be able to track you? No, they already do.
Right
they can
here.
listen. We gave it up ourselves for convenience to play Candy Crush on the toilet. So that's the whole point. I memean, if there's a they, that's it. They won. Now this is a whole nother level of shit, though, because that's when you get people to turn on each other.
Well, here's another interesting thing that you bring that up, and they're looking now at, because one of the things that people are saying, that all the experts are saying has to happen in order for us to reopen the country, we need to be able to track this disease.
Bullshit.
Right? You do. No, you absolutely do.
No, but I'm saying
it's true though. Like, that's the thing, is in order to contain it, in order to deal with it until we have a vaccine or until herd immunity is built up, you need to know where it goes and know if and when and where it's spreading, and get people to quarantine if they've been exposed to it. That's sort of basic, outbreak containment period. But to your concerns, how are they going to do that?
They're going to track your phones. This phone, I used to keep my GPS off, and I'm like, it tracks it no matter what.
But it does, absolutely does.
Because Kendo pulled up an app, he pulled up his Google history when he came to visit back in 2017.
Yeah,
it was really creepy how it's like he stopped here to get gas and he drove this many miles. It was for my birthday in 2018, sorry, and he went through the whole trip because we all remembered it. We're like, wow, that's to a T how many feet you traveled and shit. I'm just like, wow, oh my God, that's
eerie. But what I'm saying with this is there are going to be certain things in the name of may start as it may even start as as necessity, as a well-intended thing, in the sense of like, yes, here's a really simple, easy way to get people to, give us the information we need. Speaking of information we need to do the census thing required by law. Keep forgetting that.
I also need to file my taxes so I can get my $1,200 check or whatever I'm supposed to get. That's government.
But
I get to pay it right back in taxes. So I get $200.
I think if you become eligible this year, but you file your taxes after they've already gotten through all the check cutting process and whatnot, it'll come back to you on your taxes next year.
All I'm saying is, let's say they gave me a check for $200.
Yeah,
I have to pay taxes each month. It would literally I get to keep $200.
The beat booming is happening more often now. It's true. We want a lot of that.
No, he means our internet's cutting out.
I know, but I'm saying I think a lot of that is because people are just online right now. I know what he meant.
Oh,
yeah, but I think it's been happening more and more because there's more and more of
people on the internet. Where were we? Was it your last stream? What was the stream where your internet was just complete? Oh no, it was Passover. Because we were like, they couldn't even hear us.
It was as if we had the smart. Usually it's fine.
Smart TV's on. That's why
it is on. I don't want to have to pull it, but maybe I will. Yeah. So no, it seems like we're using multiple devices at once. The internet suck the balls. Yeah. So, but it's going to start, I think, as something very innocuous, and it'll be sold to you in a very logical way, with like, hey, make virus tracking easy. Put your symptoms right to this app. Have it input your location, or have us allow location tracking. You don't have to do anything to it; just allow location tracking, so we know where you are. To contain the disease.
Trading freedom for liberty, isn't that what Thomas Jefferson said?
Liberty for safety.
Whatever.
Safety for liberty for safety. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's a lot
of heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so you think of what else is, because obviously that information has to be fed to the government, because who's going to enforce these policies? The government. So now they're going to have an opportunity and an easy way in. Now we're starting the conspiracy theory. It's a very easy way in to requisitioning even more of our personal data. So Ben Franklin said it, the wise and horny do. Ben Franklin also wrote a great treatise as to why you should sleep with an older woman. There you go.
I appreciate it more.
That was one of the reasons. Beth and the Try Harder. We read that in school. I think a teacher read it to us. I don't even think it was like for class. I think it was like our math teacher was like, hey, this is really funny.
Yeah, but I mean, you lived in that part of the country though, where
Ben Franklin's part of the
I'm saying you guys definitely still partake in a lot of like.
Oh yeah.
Origins of the Country type of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Down the street where it took
Dude,
place.
there's like a Ben Franklin lookalike that just chills in the city. I think it's
What a great job.
I look like Ben Franklin. No.
Let's get a movement started where they need an Andre the Giant lookalike, and they cast him in every movie. Me.
That's perfect. I love
I'll
it.
take a role.
Oh God, Beth DeGue says, look up the Speaking Moistly remix. You'll love it. All right.
So
Get a picture of that so I don't forget.
So since we are supposed to be talking about self-care and such.
Yeah, but now we freaked everyone out with our government conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
What do we do to stay calm and feel centered at this time? Yeah, well, just Jeff, do you ever get stressed?
Not from anything with the coronavirus.
Just in general, in life.
Yes,
Do you ever
of course.
feel stress?
Oh, of course. I'm not a robot.
Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. What do you do to alleviate your stress?
Depends where I'm at, who I'm with. So if I was back home, I would probably draw or play some games. Because with the channel being what it is, it's a full-time commitment more than that. Sometimes when I need a break, like that's why I got into that Spider-Man game so heavily, because I was just like, I need a break from all this. And I would do that to break the tension. But to draw is fun. With you, I like to just veg out and watch Supernatural.
It is fun.
Just that kind of stuff.
I like to say, I think one thing that you and I do that's really nice is when we're unwinding. Like we'll have sometimes every now and then we'll do it if like during the day if we're on a break between doing things, or like right before we go to bed. We each have like our little games we play on our phone, and we'll just lie in bed next to each other, and we're like touching, we're snuggled up, but we're just playing our games and kind of having our personal, veg out time, our personal mind unwind time, where we're still together, we're still feeling that closeness, but we kind of each have our own little us time with our brains to
and we also fill each other in on the game. So I'm like, so how's Lily? And she explains the entire narrative structure of Lily's Garden. And then I was saying, like, who I imported from my Avengers team. And I'll give her an update, like, fuck Captain Marvel. I didn't take her.
This is Princess Sparkle Punch.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's special move in that game is the Princess Sparkle Punch. I accidentally took her because she was 100 gold points, just like by mistake. But now I'm happy because I don't have to look at her face every time I log into, like, here's your character you need to download, Jeff.
Yeah,
I would rather lose the game than play as her. I actually put her in some matches. I should do it just to watch her die.
You should.
One thing I will say to bounce off your point real quick about us doing our gaming, once I just hook up the Nintendo and charge the controller, I feel like that'll slowly become like an us time thing. It's like, hey, you want to play a couple of games of Mario Kart or whatever, and just kind of veg out and still touch this close. Wait till our Twitch games. That's gonna be fun.
We're gonna start our Twitch channel. It's gonna be great. Hadas, what's like a basic everyday, like when you're feeling a little stressed, or even just to keep you grounded, like on a day to day?
A hot beverage.
Hot beverage. That's a great. I was even just joking before that. I was like, I should have made tea for this stream. I'm actually a little warm though. So
I'm glad I
think you've noticed my extreme. Like I always have a hot beverage in my hand, like whether it's tea or decaf coffee or something. I'm always drinking hot beverages, and it's like a little comfort thing for me.
I'm definitely with you on that. Hot tea, hot cocoa for me is great. I don't always go for that because obviously calories. But we've been doing a little bit of hot chocolate. It's been really nice.
We're probably gonna do it tonight, to be honest.
Oh, that sounds good.
I think we should dig out the popcorn machine again.
All right. Do I dig it out? You mean it's right there?
Let them think it's a harder effort to make fresh popcorn at this
The Death Star.
It's still like a challenge to find like those little things that give you comfort, especially when everything feels like you're
And to your point,
version of a house collapsing.
You talked about also though. You talked about like people drinking too much, but obviously, eating is a comfort thing that again is a lot easier to control when you're in a regular schedule and you're like, I've done this day and I've done my regular workout at the gym, and now I can come back and have a piece of candy or have something a little bit more, a can of soda or something a little less healthful and whatnot. And now it's just like, well, I'm more stressed than usual and there's nothing to do and there's nothing to alleviate the boredom. So I don't have this and that.
Boredom is a big thing for sure. And I'm not just saying like, oh, people are just drinking more. It's certain people I know are drinking a lot more. I know certain people who are smoking more. I know certain people who are just eating nonstop. It's okay. It's okay that these things are happening as long as we can acknowledge them and be like, oh, okay, so I'm doing these things. Probably not the best thing for my body. Why am I doing them? And those are the steps to.
And I think the most important thing at the end of the day is to have control over it. And it's very easy to lose that control because I think a really easy thing to do right now is to go like, oh, I'm it's harder to find reasons not to, I had a hard day, I'm stressed out, blah, well, I'm just gonna have this thing of ice cream. Well, don't do that. Well, why not? Because it's not good for you, it's not healthy. But I need something to cover myself. And I know tomorrow is going to be the same as today. The circumstances are going to be the same. If I'm trapped inside, if I'm going to maybe a job where I'm being exposed to other people, and that's stressful as well.
That's going to be me soon.
Yeah.
I have no choice. Although right now, because of the law that people are not allowed to, or not a law, but a regulation, I guess, that no one's allowed to wear not be outside without a mask.
Yeah.
Like, I feel safer for sure. But yeah, I have no choice. I'm going to have to start going back to work soon. I even had my boss has the day and everything.
Wow. How's that going to affect you being able to see your parents?
I'm going to see, because everyone's wearing masks, so it's a little bit different. I'm not going to be touching people. Because there's going to be only 5 of us as opposed to like 10 to 15 at a time.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to be near people
Yeah.
as often. So we'll see. I mean, before I went into my quarantine, I had them spray me down with sanitizer before I left, if I ever went to my parents right after.
So, welcome, Kenny.
Thank you.
We're just chatting about things, about how Hadassah is going to be going back to work at some point in the near future.
Sure, you have a date?
So
I have the start week.
Wow.
So here's a fun thing, though, and something to keep an eye on, especially for you, Hadassah, in this situation, given that you got sick and given that you're looking to going back to work.
Yeah,
That's the only reason you stopped going to work.
But antibody tests they're looking into those, and they're working on those right now. So those basically test if you've had the coronavirus. And this is one of the measures they're looking to take when they're looking at like opening up the country and sending people back to work. If you've been exposed and you have the antibodies in your bloodstream, that means you cannot get it again. Now, is it possible that the virus will eventually at some point change, like the seasonal flu, and another strain can come up that you could get again? Sure. How long does that immunity last? We don't know, but for all intents, it lasts a while. And so one of the things they're looking at is if we can roll out antibody testing for a lot of people, we can know you've already had it, you're immune. It is now safe for you to go back to work because you cannot contract the virus, therefore you cannot spread the virus.
Well, the World Health Organization is looking into people that are testing positive again in South Korea and in Japan after they've tested negative.
Yeah, so that is something they're looking into as well as to why that's happening.
Yeah.
And now some theories on that are false positives. So that's, false positives or false negatives prior to being tested positive again. So there's some theories out there other than reinfection, but that's definitely a big thing to keep an eye on.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, definitely I'm going to be very careful. And my work is taking some serious, precautions. I can't think today. So definitely, I'm not going to be working the same amount as I was before, because remember, I would be at work 5 to 6 days a week for like 8 hours a day. Like, it's not like that. Everyone's hours got severely cut. So it's going to be different, but like 2-3 times a week to be out, I'm hoping it'll be okay.
Have you looked into unemployment? And
I have. The thing is that because everyone is getting it, like I can't even make my bills, let alone my rent. So
yeah, I'm saying even when you go back to work, because your hours are so severely reduced, you'd still qualify for additional.
Oh yeah, no. The one I applied for is the reduced hours.
Yeah. So hopefully, and then the stimulus checks, they're saying the stimulus checks are coming out. So
this week.
Mm-hmm.
So they've actually started to distribute. They started depositing them on Friday.
Cool.
Yay.
So there's a little bit of relief on the way.
And the additional $600 per week to unemployment, they're just waiting for the states basically to sort out their backups in unemployment to like accept them from accept the help from the federal government, because that's optional for the states to do before that'll get added. But
So
That's something that's still
the fun thing for me is that I, at some point, maybe, because I know it retroactively applies with the disaster relief stuff, but my only option is to try to call in, and that's just not an option right now because the phone lines are so flooded, you just cannot get through to an unemployment office right now. It's super fun.
There was a headline article today that said many unemployment offices nationwide just aren't even answering their phones. Not just that you can't get through because the phone lines are busy, but that they've just stopped answering the phones.
I don't know.
Click through to see.
Yeah, I read that article. It wasn't that so much that places were not answering. It was that they had such a high volume that your call just. It was whatever it was, they were turning off the line. They were just cutting off your line, or you would get silence, you would get this. They basically, if you called into a system that's queue was already full, you just got, in some cases, a busy signal, in some cases, silence, in some cases, in the nicer cases, a message that I think California has a message that lets you know that we're receiving more calls than we can answer. Call back later. Bye.
Yeah.
So, bye-bye. So Jeff, for you, since you're the only one of the four of us whose work has been, technically in terms of your ability to create work, has been 0% affected. But how has it been affected? Obviously it has been affected. How has it been affected?
Well, I'm going to talk about it, but I want to preface it with, I don't want people to think we bitch about YouTube, but YouTube does challenge you as a creator. Like, they flat out will alter the algorithm if they don't like you. Like, you can be doing great one month and shit the next, based on YouTube, really not the audience.
Yeah.
So for me, I do deal with that all the time. But we're still working. I mean, you live with me.
Yeah.
So you see, we do the same amount of work, probably more. That's why I'm trying to come up with some ideas too.
Yeah.
And we have all these things post-coronavirus planned. Like, I know I do for the channel, and you do too. But like, I don't know. I'm just using this as a time to just continue to do more nightly shows, to try to engage more of the audience.
Yeah.
That's what it's affected me. I'm just putting in more time.
But I even heard you talking on your stream earlier too, as though doing all the extra streaming has a negative impact on the algorithm.
It does, but you got to wait.
But at the same time, it's the only way to make money right now.
You got to make the money, but you also, I know this sounds a little preachier, but the people do count on you for shit. Like, people are like, hey, thanks for doing this. I'm bored. I'm at home. I'm this, I'm that. I just try to give you interactive entertainment. So that's kind of that's what this is. That's what we do all the time. We just try to engage your audience and be like, yo, I can't make your life any different. I can't change the surrounding circumstances, but you can at least come and hang out for 2 hours with us and just not think about it.
So you kind of hoping that after this is over, it's like, all right, well, when it goes back to normal with your regular streaming schedule and everything else regular, it's like the algorithm will eventually sort itself out. You'll eventually bounce back. Yeah. And in the meantime, it's the right thing to do to keep your income flow, and B, provide this very necessary.
Yeah, and I really want to pursue the projects we talk about, like the trading cards, the fix the comic thing, do the other stuff. Like, that's what I'd really like to do, and then just do YouTube to connect with people.
Yeah. So whatchamacallit, back on the self-care. Yeah. But thanks for that insight, though, because you again the only one.
I'm gonna try to send a link right now, because I'm on Pinterest, so hopefully it'll send through. But there are certain tips on here if you have an anxiety attack or a panic attack and you need like help in a second.
Yeah,
it's called. It's like you just count things down. So 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste.
Yep, grounding exercise.
That's what it's called. Thank you. And so hopefully it's sent through. Does anyone see it?
I don't see it.
No? Okay.
Sometimes Pinterest might be a site where it's like, no, you can't send. If you are just joining us, guys, make sure you do press the like button. That's always great. And if you are just joining us, Madam Kelly, Hadass Lev, our wonderful
the serial killer.
Hadass the serial killer, my wonderful.
Oh, good. You finally got a permanent nickname, an appropriate one.
I feel very attacked right now.
You're the attacker. You are the serial killer.
How?
You've killed all this many souls. It says it right there. The internet never lies. So Kelly, you're also, so we're all 3 of us are in different, 4 of us are in different living situations. I say 3 because we're in the same living situation.
I hear you saying. I don't feel left out.
All 3
You're
of us.
already the same person.
So we're in a committed relationship, confined in a single space. I know, crazy. Hadass, we're actually all in relationships.
Yes.
But we're the only ones living together. Hadass, you're living alone. and you're able to see your significant other now post your quarantine. And Kelly, you're living with a roommate who is not your significant other, and you're not able, due to health reasons, see your significant other. So,
Correct. Yes.
Sorry, Jeff is mine says toxic masculinity.
Now masculinity is very possessive over Jeff. So I just want to talk a little bit about the particulars of our situation. We're very fortunate in that we like each other a great deal. We get along very, very well. And we're still, a little bit in the honeymoon phase of our relationship. It's the first year that since we've gotten together, we've been together for 8.5 months now. Yeah. And so there's still a lot of niceness. So it's weird because it's like there's a weird dichotomy in that we are, but because we're being forced in these quarters, we're getting through some of those things that couples usually deal with when they live together for a while.
We've even had the conversation that we're kind of okay with this because it canceled a lot of the trips we had to take for your job, which were fun, but we do like the comfort of just like, hey, it's the weekend. We're just going to roll out of bed and do whatever we want. Yeah. And there's never been like, I need to get away. I need to decompress. It's like, I got to go to work. Well, I'll see you when I get back.
We get it. You two are meant to be together.
We text each other. We miss each other when I go to work for a couple hours. I'm on partial work now. I have one fencer who is still taking lessons. So I'm giving a lesson in a breathing mask under a fencing mask, which, yes, is terrible.
This is for Bruce Lombardo. He said to us, please blink.
You're a serial killer.
I also don't blink.
Because you're a serial killer.
Stop.
So that's our situation. Although it's not 100% perfect, we're human beings. And so we've talked about a couple little things of but I think it's one of the most important things for us as a couple. I think for any couple too, we're just lucky that it comes very easily to us is communication. We try to be really open with each other. We read each other very well. So we don't really have the luxury of not saying things because the other person's like, what's wrong? So it's not really an option for us. But there have been a couple days where it's more not to each other, but just about, I think, days where we're kind of slogging through work and a little more into that and a little less chipper, and other days where we're just all I want to do is love you. And so we talked about, if we go through those days of being a little more invested in our work and invested in our own little worlds and whatnot, sitting down maybe once a week and being all right, here's some things that are bothering me and here's some things that are bothering me, and just sort of yell about them and snipe, let them out in a way where we realize, because one of these what? Somebody say something? Or is that just
no? You had your own reverb.
My via one.
You're yelling at yourself.
Yelling at myself.
I mean, how is that different from normal life? You usually yell at yourself.
True.
I'm glad I didn't have to.
You disguise it as yelling at us, but we all know you're yelling at yourself.
Thanks, guys. I love you too.
Love you too.
Hate you.
You're the most wonderful human. But yeah, so we talk about just things just being able to recognize what's actually bothering us or what's not really bothering us, and what's not about oh, you left the lid up on the toilet seat and you didn't throw your thing away, and it's just about all right, I'm having a bad day and now I'm looking for anything to make it worse. So let's just get over it and realize it's not important and not take shit personally and stuff like that. So yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. I
didn't get any beef jerky today.
Whose fault is that?
My own, because I didn't go to the damn counter. We had 3 giant bags of that shit.
Oh, and there's still the little one from your mom that I still keep.
I saw you put it. Oh, she sent us 6 of those. Okay. That was just the first 4 years. You get 2 more.
Thank you.
Kelly, they're so gross.
She's sending us another box.
I know.
She's so sweet.
My mom's
we'll never have to go grocery shopping.
We talked about missing out on stuff. You know what I really want to do? I want to go out and get a really good steak.
Mm.
I mean, we made them good.
I just finished eating a steak.
Ooh, what cut?
Tri-tip.
Nice.
Or sirloin. I mean, sirloin steak.
How did you prepare it?
I put it in a pan with olive oil.
Okay.
Salt and pepper.
That sounds delicious.
Medium.
I'm just really hungry and want one, so all this shit's just helping me.
Hungry?
You're welcome.
Not dying. I'll just a steak. If somebody said here's a medium rare steak, I'm gonna eat
that right now too. I'm not hungry. I'm still full from dinner. Dinner, which is our only meal today because we're adults.
The thing is, we have the necessity, or we have the foods to make more meals. We just haven't.
All right. So Hadass, in your situation,
My overhead is making me hot. Sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead. I'm looking at my lighting.
I know it was really tough for you, Hadass, when you were full quarantine and whatnot, but like, do you want to talk a little bit about that, the challenges of that, and then any of the challenges you guys have faced as a young couple in life?
Sure. So basically, with the quarantine, I just had lows, and I struggled dealing with it. So Colin helped me a lot by talking to me. And we would even like talk about nothing, but we would just talk so I would have a distraction. So that was very helpful. And then when I got out, it was more because I was in quarantine, I had to be in my own little bubble. So everything was kind of about me in my bubble, even though I was alone. And I had to have a second where I was like, oh, wait, no, I actually have to. People have lives outside of me. I have to remember that. And so that took me like a mini second to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are fine. We're just we're trying to, still chug along in our lives, even though things are a little crazy.
Fair enough. That's a very good point about what you said about the bubble. I just want to highlight this chat real quick because I agree with Jeffrey Nelson 100%. The show Iron Chef makes me hungry even if I'm stuffed with food.
Shocked as hell.
Have some soup.
We can't have soup. The soup is broken.
We have Lipton. We can.
Oh, it's not gonna be the same. It's gonna make me sad.
You mean we can never have Lipton soup now because we'll always have the memory of the lost matzo ball?
No, only while it's sitting in the freaking fridge.
I'll dump it out. I'll give it to shit pancake.
Oh, it's pancakes and bad soup. But I think it's an excellent point. Actually, it was one of the weird experiences I had. It was driving my car for the first time after not doing it for a few days, right towards the beginning of the lockdown. The first time I did that shopping trip for you guys, and just driving down the street to Kelly's, I was like, oh my God, situation, like sensory overload, like the cars and just that much stuff going around was really weird to take in. It was a lot to take in. But that's a really good point, is when we are in a situation where everything has to be, even when it has to be about ourselves. So there's no shame or harm in making it about you when there's no one else for it to be about. Or like when you were, really sick, and therefore it's like your self-care was everything because you were the only person taking care of you and you had to, is that it does take an active and conscious reset when you're now back in the world of humans to be like, I'm not the only person on the earth. The world doesn't revolve around me.
Yeah.
And that's tangentially was something I personally had to get used to before the coronavirus and whatnot, of just like, I've lived in this apartment by myself for 5.5 years, and so to let someone else into the space and realize like everything in here, it can't just be the way I want anymore. There's compromise that has to happen. I have to remember this is not just about, and that those compromises aren't just about like me giving something up, but me welcoming somebody else into my home and into my space and into my life. And so it's just like, it's a great point. That's true for our relationships outside of just, the coronavirus. So yeah. All right, Madame Kelly, what's it been like for you in navigating this relationship without being able to physically be with your?
I'm in kind of a unique place to begin with because my partner is poly, and I'm not, and that's something he's been very open about since the beginning. So I'm not. He's also a germaphobe. Which I learned, but more importantly, like everybody in our lives, my roommate, him, his roommate, are all super high risk. Yes, exactly.
I'll just leave that. Keep going. We'll talk about that.
And his roommate is also an Instacart shopper, so that means she's going out on a daily basis into this world. So for the sake of everyone's safety, including mine, he's like, we can't get together. And I speaking of self-care and emotional care, Hadass and Jesse were subject to my very prolonged panic attacks, including one where I was so hypervigilant that I sprayed a bunch of Lysol into a cupboard and inhaled it and burned my lungs really badly, and consequently woke up with a sore throat and a cough the next day, and because of this virus, like, put myself into quarantine. That canceled what was going to be a date with my significant other a couple days later. And by the time the quarantine was over, he's like, we're not letting anybody into the house. We haven't seen let anybody in since before that even happened. Everything has changed. It's gotten so much worse. We're not going to let anybody in until the end of the month. So like we text every day. That's not an issue. But now we've gotten into the point of like, we're going to do weekly FaceTime dates.
Aw.
And it's actually helped a lot with emotional communication, because this is a really new relationship as well. It just started in January, and he's always been poly, but was raised very, very Christian and very monogamous. So like being open and ethical about it is a new thing, I guess, for him, because it was like before it was just like, I have a girlfriend, go on Tinder and feel like shit about yourself. So there's been a lot of like, he's like, well, just, push through it. I'm like, well, pushing through it doesn't mean not expressing my emotions. And when you tell me to just push through it, it's like, you're not there with me for it. And he's like, that's not what I mean. And I was like, well, it's actually helped a lot with the emotional communication, because obviously the day-to-day checking in and stuff has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
But, tis what it is.
Tis indeed. Atachi-san, I want to come. I want to talk about this self-care, aka being your own parent. I'm going to read the super chat first, but then I do want to talk about this idea. I'm also really enjoying this conversation in the chat about drinking cola, but cola is bad, so drink alcohol instead. But
you missed the part earlier. The guy Bruce worked as a septic sewage sucker, and he calls himself a shitlord. It's his official title.
Oh my god,
the chat's been awesome tonight. I've been reading.
Unrelated, it is Kaylee's 3rd birthday today.
Happy birthday, Kaylee!
Kaylee is her 3rd birthday. She is getting a special kitty cake when this is over. She doesn't even know.
Aww.
Can Shit Pancake have a shit pancake for his birthday?
You can get a poorly constructed pancake for his birthday, yes. We did make him a very poorly constructed pancake once. He just
looked at it.
Can Jane have a nice pancake? Can Jane have a nice pancake?
Yes.
But I really want to add on the FaceTime dates. I have them with my friends all the time, and that's a huge thing. I think that is very good that people should be doing, so they don't feel as alone. And yeah, just like make a cup of coffee or tea or whatever, and just talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I've got to talk to my sister more during all of this than I usually do, because she's usually very busy and very unavailable. And she has also been feeling the isolation, has been the one who reached out to us, looking for contact a couple of times as well. And even though it was a virtual Seder, I was telling Jeff about this, how great it was. He got to be part of my family Seder on Thursday. I normally don't get to be part of my family Seder because I live on the other side of the country and I haven't gone home for Passover since I've been out here. So it was the first time in 5 years that I've gotten to be part of my family Seder. So there's some of those nice things, there's my parents and I had a little FaceTime date, just stay in touch with them because they're in, and it's one of those things. It's like the people you care about that you worry about, those are the people you want to call, you want to reach out to, you want to be in contact with, because it just makes you feel better. It makes you feel, grounded and attached to them and stuff like that. So
yeah. I will say though, I am so bad about being like, okay, I gotta go, bye, because I have no clue how to do it now since I don't have to go anywhere and they're watching me. So I'm just like awkwardly trying to find like bits in the conversation where I'm like, can I leave? Can I?
Yeah, no, I know that's one of the weird things, because that's also one of the things that's the great excuse for ending a conversation is I gotta go. It's like, no, you don't.
For me, it's like I have to pee now.
That's ours is great because it's like, oh, Jeff's got to record a video now. Bye. It's nice for everything.
To be fair, though, I kind of do.
He does a lot of time, so it's great. Every time someone calls and I'm like, I just don't feel like humaning right now, I just text back. I'm like, Jeff's recording, and they don't know. They don't know. To be fair, you'll frequently only use that excuse when Jeff is actually recording, but
you should use it. And I'll just make more videos.
There you go. Sarunavas Rounded, thank you for the super chat. How would you feel about going to a large gathering now where everyone is either wearing hazmat suits or space suits, like a sporting event? That would be really sweaty. It would be really gross.
Can you imagine in a mosh pit in like a hazmat suit?
That'd be Yeah, that'd be weird because then, oh my god, then your suit would tear and everyone would freak out, and I'd be like, oh my god.
It's like that episode. It's always
So
sunny.
I was thinking about that episode.
And then then all the sweat would spill out of the tear in the hazmat suit.
Oh,
I
gross.
do a lot of sweat too.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
And I sweat a lot.
That's what I'm here for.
It's interesting that you brought that up because today I was weirdly thinking about Disneyland and how, like, if they start, or theme parks in general, if they opened up, like, how would they go about being? Because would it be like half the amount of people? Would it take longer to get on rides because they have to sanitize?
Shanghai Disney is starting to reopen, and they're requiring all guests to wear a mask at all times. Not only Tomorrowland is open right now; they're not operating at full capacity. And since it's in Shanghai, there are things that, like, the government of China allows that that they wouldn't necessarily allow here, like temperature scans when you, like, on your way in, and the contact tracing that's on their phones to see if you've been in contact with someone that has had COVID-19 or if you've had it. They're keeping those records as well.
That contact tracing is going to become a thing here.
Yeah.
So,
And it should be. For that, Apple and Google are already developing it. The problem that they're trying to work on is how to hone in on just that data, and isolate it from the rest of your data.
True.
I'm sure they know how to. They'll just.
It's just a matter of developing. Yeah. Yeah.
Because greed is the greatest motivator.
Of course.
If they can find another way to sell your private information, they will.
Oh yeah. So that thing Tachi-san said though about self-care basically being your own parent is a great way to put it, but then again, not all of our parents gave us the same tools.
I like to call myself
that's extremely true.
So
well, my parents took care of me, but I raised my hand because I like to call myself my own housewife, not my own parent.
So
I did not get any self-care tools from my parents.
And so so our parents give us different coping skills. They give us the ones that work for them, and they don't necessarily work for us, I'm not saying that that makes them wrong or that our parents do things wrong. I'll leave those judgments up to the individuals, but they didn't necessarily give us, for me, one of the things, like my family it does a thing where, like, especially my dad, when it's like you can have a fight and there's no reconciliation period of like, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, let me own up to what I said. Let's talk it out and move on. There's just the move on. It's like there'll be a fight. It'll linger. My dad will bring up something completely on a different topic that's totally innocuous. And then, hey, it's over and we're done and we're moving on now. And I hate that. But I've discovered recently that I've actually picked up on that habit as well myself. And it doesn't really work for me in the same way because I'm someone who wants to work stuff out a little better. But then at the same time, so it's the things like that. Anyway, so what I want to ask everyone is, what's something you've developed in your self-care routine and your, for taking care of yourself and making yourself feel good that wasn't a tool you got growing up, but was something you developed in your adult life for you? So whoever wants to start.
Purposely watching movies that'll make me cry and just purposely having a nice, good cry.
That's a good one.
I love a good cry.
It's a really good one.
Really good one.
That is my go-to. It's one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
Intention, like setting the intention to not be productive and that's okay for the day.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. I do that for myself. When I feel myself really hitting like a slump, I take a day and I'm like, this is your day for that. And it's like, if I lean into that and give into that, then I can slowly work myself. And like the fully indulging it kind of makes you feel like, all right, I did this, I wallowed, I whatever. And like slowly, for me, I can credit my mom to help me. And I think that's definitely when I found out for myself as a teenager that my mom helped enable as a teenager a little bit, because she would let me take the occasional mental health day from school. She kind of realized that like not every sick day is like fever and whatnot.
Right.
It took some time to get there, but that definitely helped me develop that routine.
My parents definitely did the same thing with me too.
Yeah.
Where I used to fake sick so much that my parents would just be like, be honest, are you sick or do you just need a day? And I was like, I need a day. And they're like, take your day.
Yeah. My mom was really great. She also let me and my friend do senior skip day, which was awesome. Which I don't know if it defeats the purpose, like getting permission to do it, but I was a nerd.
You a nerd?
Shut up.
No.
What are you doing?
Just putting that right there.
What is it?
It's the water cat. It's the cat from his water. I'm holding it for him.
Wow, that's a strong collarbone you have there to hold the bottle cap.
Well, the collarbone's up here. We're using the little bitty teeth.
Your collarbone goes all the way here.
Yeah, I had it here.
Oh, under the collar.
That's why I pointed your
I
collarbone.
can't
I didn't
actually
have it.
feel it because it's a piece of plastic.
How dare you not feel it?
Yeah. I'm being shamed publicly.
Aw. One thing I do that I know my yes, Jesse. Don't.
You were saying,
Die alone.
had us.
I mean, something that our whole generation does that our parents wouldn't have because it didn't exist is looking at memes whenever you're down. I mean, I go through memes so much in a day, and literally every time I feel down, I just go on Pinterest because that is my Google, and I find memes.
I'll say one thing for me. The biggest thing I've done for myself as an adult is do Krav Maga, and part of that was a big way of learning to redefine my relationship with anger into a healthy relationship, because I've always struggled with it. And so growing up, Zoe B says my mom says everything is a competition. I love your mom. I know this is a person that I actually know. So
Is that the painter?
yes, our artiste. But and it helped me redefine my relationship with anger, having always had it growing up, and then like during my tumultuous teenage years, I just channeled all of my negative emotions through anger, sadness, pain, frustration, whatever, all came out as anger, which you can imagine was super healthy. And so he knows you're a fencer, Zoe, but you also painted the thing.
Did we meet her mom?
You didn't. I don't think you've met her mom yet.
No.
I don't think
I
so.
know her mom.
No.
I feel like I get along with Zoe's mom.
You met the San Diego mom.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
CJ, right?
Yeah, these are Oregonians.
Oh, like the Goonies.
Hey, Oregonians.
Yes, indeed, from Portland specifically. So,
It's Portland.
aw. But yeah. So Krav Maga, it helped me redefine my relationship with anger, as I don't have to judge myself for wanting to be angry. I don't have to judge myself for letting it out. And here's a place where I can be as violent. Oh, your mom. Of course your mom knows CJ. That makes so much. They would love each other. They would get along so well. I want to hang out with CJ and your mom now. I'm super stoked. But yeah. So for me, it was like a way of redefining. Like, I don't have to judge myself for feeling this way. I can go here. I can let this out. I can give it out up. I can put it out there to my like most intense way, and then I get praised for that. And the harder I go, the more praise. Yes, Zoe, next snack. I can't wait. The harder I go, the more praise I get for it, and to feel good about that I can release this in a positive way, and then I can channel it towards something positive. And doing Krav Maga actually helped me respect that anger, respect what I could do with it in terms of physical violence, and figure out, I know you met Jeff, but I didn't think your mom was there, unless she was. But
oh my God, Wisconsin, that was forever
ago.
Milwaukee too.
But yeah, so learning how to control that as well, like, helped me learn to control it better and be like, I understand this feeling and what I can do with it, and it made me like respect that feeling more rather than always want to let it out. It made me like respect what I could do with it, and yeah. And Tetris makes a very good point. Anger is a response to resistance. Anytime you're resisting something, that was me. I channeled all my other negative emotions through anger because it was easier to face than, yeah, that's what I thought. It was your dad in Wisconsin. It was easier to face, and than other stuff. But that was something I've learned for myself in my very long meandering story. Jeff, your turn.
Well,
something you've learned as a coping skill or self-care skill.
Well, I don't think that, like, I don't classify it as self-care. I just consider it like doing what I have to do. I don't like label. You and I talk about this. You label things way more aggressively than I do. I always just like, that's just doing what I have to do to survive type of thing. But if we're going to talk about this sort of stuff, probably like, I'm usually the hardest on myself about getting shit done.
Mhm.
So sometimes I just have to go, I can't get everything done at this point. But then there's also a ton of shit that I should have gotten done. So it always just, there's just
The
an
balance.
internal struggle that I face. It's like, I need to get these 3 things done. They will literally take 5 minutes. Why is it so hard to get those done? I'll do something that takes 5 hours to get done before I get the 5-minute thing done. Like responding to an email is a Herculean task for me sometimes.
God.
That's called executive dysfunction.
Yeah,
It is an ADD thing.
I suffer from that because it's like, hey, respond to this email to help these trading cards get made. No, I'm going to make this 10-hour video so I can just,
I do the same thing. That was, what was it? It was, I was cleaning my apartment to procrastinate doing something else. And I had this big cardboard box. So I used it to make a homemade cat scratcher as a way to procrastinate cleaning, which was just a procrastination for something else.
Yep.
So yeah.
The layers are many.
So what is something you do, Jeff, when you face that struggle to like either get the thing you need to get done or forgive yourself for not doing it? Or
I don't think I ever forgive myself. I'm just like, fuck. Eventually I get it done and then I feel good about it. But it just, sometimes it's the dumbest shit. I need to like, realistically, it's a lot with YouTube right now. And it's like the hamster wheel that we talk about. You don't get it done, they push you to the back of the line. But I have so many other things that could make me in a whole new line that I can do. But just, I think about that kind of stuff.
But how do you make it yourself feel better about this stuff?
I still don't feel good about it.
Self-care part.
I don't have any answer.
So Jeff doesn't self-care at all.
No, I don't. I just feel like I need to get these things done. And once I accomplish them, then I feel good.
Okay. So you just stress about those things until they get done?
Pretty much, yeah.
Sounds healthy.
I never said it was.
Okay. What's the thing you could do to
get those things done?
Okay, so what's something you could do to help you focus on those things? Is there like a thing you could do? Do you think that would like, boom, you could do what we do. We do, Kelly, Hadass, and I think do a great job with an accountability loop sometimes where we'll text each other and be like, tell me this thing that I need to hear,
I do that a lot.
I was like, Hadass and I were great for that because Kelly's has her workout, her own like very specific workout thing, so she knows exactly what to do. But Hadass and I were sort of freewheeling for a while, and we couldn't do as much because my back was having issues and she was sick. So we decided we were going to start FaceTiming each other and do little workout things. And the very first day, I was like, we'll start tomorrow. And Hadass was the one that's like, nope, we're doing it right now. And that's flipped around a couple days of like, we're not going to do it today. No, we are right now. And even if it was just a little bit. So, you can have accountability loop. You can tell someone like, hey, just tell me to do this thing. Or like an hour from now, text me aggressively to tell me to do this thing.
My friend Selena and I, we're actually accountability partners. So we do 1 to 3 goals a day and we check in with each other. And it's like, are these things done by the end of the day?
That's really cool. We should do that. We should make like daily and weekly goals and like,
I always do monthly goals, but the daily goals started because of Corona.
Daily goals are good because I think that good daily, weekly, and monthly, just like small picture, big picture, the little things, the bigger things. We should make a list and like share it with each other and then check in with each other.
Should buy that whiteboard and do
we
it.
Should. We definitely
I have a whiteboard.
We should have
I have a whiteboard that I'm not using.
Oh.
Well then. We will gladly take that off your hands.
Do that, and then we should have personal goals and then couples goals.
I like that. So
because I got it to use, but then I realized I'm much more. I thought the physicality of it would help me, but I'm in my phone too much. Digital is better for me.
Well, we will happily take that off your hands for you.
I like to write stuff because then I feel like I've made it.
Me too.
Thing.
It's real.
I think whiteboard too something.
What?
Off the list.
Mm-hmm.
I like
that too.
Erase things off a list.
I love crossing things off. I'm a list person.
Same here.
I want to
use my notebook more.
It's always working at 6 days a week. I got to get back to using my notebooks too. But yeah,
I have so many notebooks that I got because I'm like, I'm going to use this, and they're just a collection of empty, beautiful books.
Well, if you ever need to offload those, I do go through notebooks.
Okay.
And then we turn them into drawing games on the street.
I have one open because I keep wanting to tweet out a picture of my cat blood on my grocery list.
Speaking of blood, for a while I wanted to just like cover myself in fake blood whenever someone knocks on the door and just answer it with a straight face. Just be
They're
like,
gonna make a TV show about you one day.
huh?
A good way. They're gonna make a TV show about you one day.
Thank
Not in
you.
a bad way, like you're a serial killer, just like the
No,
crazy
you are
shit
a serial-
Hadass does.
You are a serial killer.
Or
Hadass,
I'm
you
gonna
should
make
read
it.
us the list of things you wrote down when you were high at the time.
No.
My
That's,
favorite.
that's a private list.
Can I tell the poem story though?
Yeah, you can.
So we all got really high after Whitney
Yay.
because we needed to, because Hadass and I were on a mountain for 17 hours and Kelly came to take care of us. My favorite memory is just Kelly sitting on the floor with a giant block of Tillamook cheddar, just gnawing on it.
Very
Oh
fun.
God. And so Hadass thought she had texted Kelly to ask her to write her a poem. What Hadass had done was write it in her notes section on her phone, and then proceeded to get mad at Kelly and started texting us and saying how mad she was at Kelly. And we were like, why are you mad at Kelly? And she was like, because you never wrote me that poem. And she was like, what poem? She's like, I asked you to write me a poem and you never wrote it for me. And then we finally figured out that you would never actually ask her.
I didn't say mad. I said disappointed. Get my words right.
Correct. You were disappointed in Kelly. And Kelly was like, why are you disappointed in me? And
Not until
You did say mad.
Oh, I did? I don't know.
You did say very angry. And then I was like, why are you angry? And I was like, that sounds like more like I think we did get around to disappointed, but I had to talk you down.
it was violent. It was a violent emotion.
What?
I'll tell
Really?
you.
I have no memory of this.
Oh man.
It
So, what?
it was a good time. Watching, what was that movie we watched with the guy in the
Into the Wild.
Watching that after doing Whitney made me feel so cocky.
The favorite thing was, if you don't let Vince Vaughn save your life, you deserve to die.
Well, yes. I live by Vince Vaughn.
Oh man. All right. So, being we've been on here for a little while now, I think it might be about time to do Mad Libs.
Yes.
What do you guys say? Oh, I just want to make sure you guys all heard that our list of couples goals, daily goals, would be sex, more sex, sex again.
I think 5 times a day is a good number.
It's a reasonable number. We have to balance it against what our other daily goals are, though. It's like if our other daily goals list is short enough, then 5 times.
See, the way I like to operate though is I like once I have like a project to do, I like to dive into it and then get it done and then just give myself a lot of padding. Like after we're like it's done, like the trading cards we're gonna do. Like once I commit, get those all
So
done.
get those all done and have a few days while you're doing that where we have sex 1 to 3 times, and then when it's done,
Yes.
we'll have sex
We'll
8
go on
times.
when it's successful, go somewhere.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Sex.
We talked about this.
We need to have a
We were
sex
supposed to have one until we won't talk about what happened on air, but
Darn. All right. So do you guys want to? Okay. So we're getting to the Mad Libs portion of this.
is toxic pretty loudy?
Those are weekly goals. Toxic. That would explain why he's so possessive of you. You left
He's
him.
a good friend.
So for those who haven't Mad Libs with us before, basically every fourth word is going to go to the chat. So I'm going to let you guys know what it is ahead of time so you can prepare your word. So I'll tell you right now, chat, the first thing you're going to get is a noun. If anybody sends a super chat, that word will automatically take over the next chat suggestion. And if it doesn't work in the next chat suggestion, we'll find the next place that it works and plug it in. And then, Jeffrey Nelson, he's on a roll tonight. Oh man. But yeah, okay. So oh, it's good to see you, Flaming TP. I'm glad you're still alive. I'm glad you're still alive, my friend.
As am I.
So that we can have
daily anal talk.
We don't need to have daily anal.
I don't even want it.
That's good.
Do I ever sit and go, we should do it today?
No.
You and I are compatible in that way.
We are.
We like the same parts.
Yes. So, all right. So that's the noun. Okay. You guys have a noun. Uh-oh, God. And wiener. What part of speech is squeak?
Whatever Bruce Lombardo wants it to be.
You know what?
Squeak is a noun. Squeak is a It's
It's
onomatopoeia. It's a verb and it's a noun. I think.
There you go. All right. So we've got. I'm gonna. So we've got Squee from Bruce Lombardo and
I like why I got wavy is Squeener
from Beth.
Slim too.
Well, we got to honor both the super chats. So Squee
Yeah.
is gonna be our first noun from the chat. Wiener is gonna be our next noun from the chat. I've placed these strategically. All right, cool. So
Bestie Goo, I was a virgin until I was 25.
So, guys, for those of you who weren't here at the very beginning when I read it, we're doing The Weapons of the Empire by Emperor Palpatine. So, Kelly, can you give us an adjective, please?
Sultry.
Also, chat, the next thing you're gonna get is another noun. So go for it. Oh God. All right. No, that's not. Okay. So what did you say? Sultry?
Sultry, yes.
Sultry. So chat, you are going to get one more noun, and that's me. It's a slightly short list tonight. Hadass, a plural noun, please.
Scrolls.
Jeff, a noun.
Olive.
Aw. That's a delightful noun. Thank you.
So, sorry, chat. You guys are actually going to have a plural noun next, but I can make your nouns plural.
Wise
It's
Guy's
not a
got
big
one.
deal.
Ooh, use cows. Cows is a good one.
All right. Kelly, an adjective.
Fluffy.
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 Fluffy. All right. Hadass, a plural noun.
Cows.
And Jeff, an adjective.
I got you, Wise Guys Entertainment.
Dreary.
Jeff is killing it today. I'm loving your words.
Oh, by the way, Hadass, Lando is snoring on my bathrobe.
Lando
Listen.
snoring?
Aw. Thank you for sharing that too.
Lando never snores.
Oh.
It's such a cute noise. Can you hear? Put the mic near Lando so we can all hear his snores.
Miley was snoring, and Rice was like, "Is she okay? Is it okay that she's snoring? It's like, is that all right?" I was like, "She's fine."
All right. Shh. Lando snores. You guys can hear it.
Oh, that was delightful. I wish I recorded.
This is the voice of CNN.
That was James
James Earl
Like
Jones.
this.
You know?
Actually, that was his phrase. This is the voice of CNN.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Now
Now Lando snores. We also had testicles, bananas, testicules.
That's what I said. That was not how you spell testicles.
Fluffy sporces, assless chaps, butt buddies,
Assless chaps or butt buddies.
web shooters. I kind of like assless chaps.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels wore them.
Wait, someone says noun is Lando snores. I say that's a verb.
You can describe the snores that belong to Lando. Are
Lando
Lando
snores
snores.
is a noun, but snores, like you could. So snores could be a verb as well. It could be both. Because a snore is a thing, but you can also snore. All right. So
Just like fish and fish.
yes. So that will be all from you, chat. But thank you. You are the best. Kelly, a plural noun. Kelly.
Horns.
What?
Horns.
What? Horns.
Horns.
I think you said corn.
I just heard orns, and I was like, "What's an orn?"
Well, if you'd like, we can explain to you.
Orcs.
What'd you say, Hedas?
I said
I-
that.
I said orcs.
Oh, you said orcs. Okay. You sound the same coming through the tinny sounds of the internets. Then and only then. Why is it such a bad thing to sound like Hadass, Kelly?
Nothing. It's not.
Hadass, I need a noun from you.
Is betrayal a noun? No, I'm kidding.
It is, but
Tear.
Tear. All right. And Jeff, a verb to finish off the day.
Destroying.
Well, destroy.
Yeah, destroy. Sorry, I was thinking about destroying that car alarm. This pissed me off so much.
All right. You guys ready to hear The Weapons of the Empire by Emperor Palpatine?
yes.
All right. It is useless to resist the sultry power of the Empire. We have an arsenal of weapons that cause our enemies to shake in their scrolls. Our greatest invention is the Death Squee, a space station that can destroy an entire olive with a fluffy blast.
The Death Squee.
The Death Squee. The Imperial Star Destroyers are much smaller and faster than the Death Wiener.
Thank you,
But are still fully functional bases for storm cows. My favorite weapons are the Imperial Walkers, tanks that look like dreary metal beasts, and that can transport assless chaps across a battlefield. All while a pilot at the front blasts the enemy horns with lasers. Just their horns. Now that you are all aware of the power in the Empire's tier, you'll think twice about trying to destroy against it.
The assless chaps across the battlefield. Could you imagine AT-AT walkers in assless chaps?
Yes, I can.
I can
now.
too.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank
Yes.
you. Image. Oh my God! Wow, we need to buy a new one of these because we're more than halfway through. The Death Wiener is about to fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of the Death Wiener.
No, you're not.
I could be.
You are the Death Wiener.
Yes. The voice actor for TF2 passed away. What's a TF2?
Team Fortress 2.
Okay. All right. So I think with the conclusion of the match, I agree. Bruce Lombardo it was an excellent Mad Lib. And now with the Death Wiener and the Death Squee, I don't know which one's more deadly. Do you know?
The Death what? Wiener?
Death Wiener or the Death Squee?
I think the Squee only can destroy an entire olive. The Death Wiener has no limits
It's true.
to its destructive nature.
Well, to be fair, the Death Squee can destroy an olive with a fluffy blast. Imagine what it could do with a less fluffy blast.
Squee through space.
It could probably shatter your eardrums.
Yep.
The Squee Wiener.
The Squeener.
Squee-
Oh, I'm afraid your friends will find my Death Wiener is quite operational.
That would have made the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yes, if they built a Death Wiener, I'd have been all about that movie.
I still would have hated it. It had other problems besides the lack of Death Wieners.
Every movie suffers from a distinct lack of Death Wieners.
So until we make a film with a Death Wiener in every movie, shit.
yeah, let's just make a movie called Death Wiener.
Yes,
Please.
we have the resources. We
Please. Can I be a voice? I imagine it's animated. In my head, it's an animated feature.
It's a horror film,
It's definitely a horror
and you're
film.
in it, and Hadass is in it.
Thank you.
Everyone's in it. We need some powerhouse talent for Death Wiener. We'll see if Leonardo DiCaprio is available.
Just make it be Lando. Lando can be the Death Wiener.
No. It should honestly be a giant Death Wiener that we never see, though. It's like a shadow. So sometimes it looks like an actual giant dick. Sometimes it looks like a hot dog. You don't know what the Death Wiener is. It'll kill you.
Sometimes it's flaccid.
Yes. Sometimes it's hard to get away from the Death Wiener.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's the shadow of Anthony Weiner.
Exactly. And his crazy cell phone photos. You get texted to Lou in the middle of the day, like, what the hell? The Death Wiener's coming for you. It's like in that movie, The Ring. You're going to die in 7 days.
The Death Wiener is coming.
You get texted a picture of Anthony's wiener, and you just know you have 7 days left to survive the Death
The
Wiener.
Death Wiener is watching you.
With its one eye.
Cyclops.
Oh, God. I'm so pleased, Beth. I'm so pleased. Oh, Wiener Walker.
It's a Rorschach test. Yes, it is.
Oh, anybody? Maybe that's part of it. Is if you see the shadow or you see the shape of it, if you think it looks like a wiener, Of any form?
Like a weeping angel. It's a weeping wiener. It's a weeping wiener.
That's the sequel. Weeping Wiener.
Weeping Wiener. Oh, God. Return of Death Wiener. Oh, horror porn.
I really think we should make Wiener.
Oh,
Wiener.
Death Wiener.
We could sell it at Horror Hound. We'd make thousands of
You
dollars.
would. It would be exciting.
I'm gonna call Keith and copyright that.
Okay.
Is it going to be an animation though?
No,
Or
it's,
no,
it's
it's
live action.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
We'll
Can
draft the
the wiener
script.
be animated?
What?
Can the wiener be animated? Like we're normal.
like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
You could put a dude in a dick suit.
But how's he gonna fly across the screen?
Fix it in post.
This is quickly becoming Plan 9 from outer space.
Hey,
God.
we already got one backer riding Sonic.
Oh my God. We should. Oh my God. All right. Who's going to be around on Wednesday for the stream? Tomorrow's stream is special. Jeff's shaving off his beard.
I thought it was a coronavirus beard, Jeff.
This is my hope that the coronavirus is over sooner than not.
Mm.
It's the harbinger of good things to come.
Once it comes, you die. I'll take a picture of that.
All
If
right,
anything,
so-
Death Wiener is just going to be a fucking skit on the channel.
This is why I'm asking, because Thursday, would you guys like to come back and workshop the script for Death Wiener?
Yes.
Or that's what I meant Wednesday. Wednesday,
Yeah.
we're planning everything.
Yes, absolutely. I will be here.
I am maybe leaning towards yes.
Awesome. All right, Wednesday. Be here or, don't be part of the first.
Or be Death Wiener shaped.
Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. So Wednesday's stream is going to be planning the Death Wiener.
Don't even describe it. The title is called Planning the Death Wiener. That's it. Everyone's going to click on it.
That's
What
what
the
it's going to
fuck
be
is that?
called. It's what's going to be called. I'm going to make an excellent thumbnail. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. On that note, Luke Wienerwalker and the Death Wiener. There has to be a character named Luke Wienerwalker in it. Can he be? He'll be our hero.
No, he should be a hillbilly. The Wiener Walker family should be a bunch of rednecks in like rural West Virginia.
I want them to be the heroes of the story.
Oh, I just was going to have like their ability to step on your dick or something.
How is that going to fit into the larger narrative of
It's like the Friday the 13th.
We'll talk about it on Wednesday.
We'll figure it out
All right.
on Wednesday, folks.
Join us on Wednesday if you want to help us write Death Wiener. Join us tomorrow night after the High Council if you want to see Jeff shave his Corona beard.
I have an idea for the song. So there's an old commercial for a board game called Crossfire. And then Crossfire, it was Death Wiener, and like a whole Bond opening. How's that?
And instead of the barrel of the gun, you're going down the urethra.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Start the balls. You work your way out.
That'll be one of those intros where you don't know what's actually happening until you're at the tip of the dick.
You just hear like a vibration, some screams.
It's all like psychedelic colors. You're like, what's going on? And then you realize you're just jizz.
Yeah.
At the very end, you'll see like the little sea of sperm swimming through the urethra and just shooting out.
And then it hits the
Everywhere.
camera, Death Wiener, and it drips down.
Oh my god. This is a joke. Shut up and take my money.
Oh, we'll turn this into something, even if it's
This
like
is- okay.
a $5,000 mini.
If we write a
Short.
script, we'll take your money and we'll produce it. We can do that.
Honestly, it's got to be like a 5-minute movie though, like a joke short, like an extended trailer.
Boy, this has really gone downhill in its development
You
really quickly.
We can at least make a theatrical short.
know what? If Velocipaster could be a thing, so can Death
Dude,
Wiener.
if Velocipaster can be like a freaking hour-long movie, Death Wiener can be a movie too.
Exactly.
Don't sell us short, Jeff.
Goodness.
Good.
Sell yourself tall, Jeff.
Sell yourself.
Yeah, you're super tall, Jeff.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh God. Long ago in a testicle far away. Oh my God.
That's how it starts.
That's of course. What's the rating of this movie? P for penis.
Well,
R for retarded. Rated W for wiener. Oh my
do you
God.
think the MPAA will give us a new rating system just based on the quality of our film? Death
W.
Wiener rated W.
For wiener. This is going to be an erotic horror, isn't it? Oh, yes.
It's
Many-
gonna-
Yeah, depends on what turns you on, but sure.
Oh, God. All right. Before we get too deep into
Can
this
I die
process,
first in the movie?
guys, sure. Rated E for everyone.
Ooh, the ESRB's in on this shit.
Oh, God. Okay. So can you imagine the video game that's made out as a spinoff after
It's
the
a
film?
first-person shooter.
Where you are the wiener. You just shoot jizz at everybody. Oh, God.
Hey, if they can make a South Park game where you piss in snowballs and throw them at turkeys, you can play a game where you're a giant dick.
Rated E for everyone.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, Death Wiener should be a wiener dog werewolf. Oh, my God. Maybe it'll get defeated by a wiener dog.
Maybe.
Oh, my God.
I actually
Oh,
don't think the wiener dog werewolf is a terrible idea.
No, me either.
I actually I dreamed there were wiener dogs in my dream last night. And in my dream, I was like, oh, this is such a cute little wiener dog. I should take a picture and send it to Go Big Boy or Go Home. Anyway, that's all.
She's having dreams of other men.
Oh my God. This will be the tagline for the film. Jizzing force all over the film. Oh my God. Perfect. Perfect. Every blaster sound equals jizz sounds. Oh God. My Force Jizz t-shirt's gonna sell so well after this becomes a reality. That'll be the teaser shirt for the thing. That'll be like an extra bonus tier when we crowdfund to make the movie. Is like, get a Force Jizz shirt. Ugh.
And they'll be like, wow, they even made this extra shirt. And they'll be like, nope,
No.
jizz is just a part of Jesse's life.
Yes, it is.
I love you guys so much. Oh God. Oh my God. All right. You guys are the best. The stream was the best, but we are gonna call it a night.
Dark vasectomy.
Oh God, Darth Vasectomy.
Hey, in the trading cards in the second set, Death Wiener will be a card.
Yes. Oh my God, Death Wiener. All right. So join us again tomorrow if you want to see Jeff shave off his beard. Join us on Wednesday if you want to be part of the workshopping session for Death Wiener. And to all a good night. Oh, follow these lovely ladies at Hadass Lev on Twitter. Flip that for Instagram. Or my backwards. Lev Hadass on Twitter.
Yeah, on Instagram it's at Hadass Lev. Instagram it's Twitter it's at Love Hadass.
All right, so Hadass Lev on Instagram. Flip it for Twitter. Kelly, you are Kelly Renee Miller.
Kelly Renee Mille, because the R wouldn't fit.
Mille. Kelly Renee Mille on Twitter. And Kelly Renee Miller on Instagram.
Yes, and also I'm Nerdbite on YouTube. I'll make more content one day.
Now's a great time.
Yes, that requires a lot of focus
I believe it.
and organization that I currently don't have, but I'm getting there.
Hey, baby
I
steps, right?
pulled out all of my papers and started to organize them today.
Ooh, that's a big step. It's a
Yeah.
scary step. All right, so Hadass Lev, Madam Kelly, Kelly Renee Miller, Jeff, World Class Bullshitters. Follow him, World Class Bullshitters everywhere. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Subscribe to me. Press the like button on this channel. Thank you all for being here. And
Just don't follow me on Instagram.
or do. And good night.
What about our Chronicus?
Corona Kiss!
You're supposed to look before you start kissing.